You want more probiotics in your system? You don't like how yogurt tastes? You can't find the right kefir? Or is it just all too pricey for you? Make it at home. All it takes is a little bit of time, 3 ingredients for healthy and super delicious kefir. We're using goat milk for this recipe because it's thicker, creamier, and easier to digest. Also better if you have a dairy allergy, and it's full of protein and health benefits.
Yeah, buns and ties.
Once your dairy reaches 180 degrees Fahrenheit, remove from the heat and divide into 2 separate bowls. Let it cool to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Take 1 packet of your kefir starter grains and whisk it into the smaller bowl of milk until completely dissolved. Once thoroughly mixed, pour the large bowl of milk into the smaller bowl, and your kefir base is now ready to start the fermentation process. Various metals can be reactive to your kefir and give it a strange color or flavor, so mason jars and plastic containers work best. If you look closely at our new batch of kefir, you'll notice that the milk is still very thin and very loose, versus this batch of kefir that's already finished its first 24-hour fermentation. Humidity has built up inside the jar from the bacteria naturally multiplying and growing from eating the sugars of the goat milk. After 1 round of fermentation, your kefir should appear
That's called boys. You know nothing about that!
To be thicker and slightly rippled in texture. We're going to seal our new jar with a mesh piece of cheesecloth secured with a clean hair tie or rubber band. That's just all I had at the time. Be sure to label and date your new batch of kefir with the date as well as the time the fermentation began. Now I'm going to take yesterday's kefir a step further by adding fresh fruit to the fermentation. This will not only add flavor with natural sweetness, but also double the amount of probiotics in the kefir. Store your ferments at room temperature, preferably away from lots of light, for 24 hours, or until your kefir has achieved your desired thickness and curds have formed on the surface. A 2-day kefir will look separated, and that's perfectly fine. It's a sign that you can stop the fermentation process. Fermenting for 72 hours will over-ferment your kefir, making it separate more, but also easier to digest if you are lactose intolerant. Otherwise, refrigeration for 8 hours will end the fermentation process.
8 hours later.
At this point, you can strain your kefir with cheesecloth and use the same starter for fresh milk to start a new batch, or blend it together as is and enjoy. I added a tablespoon of sugar for taste, but don't recommend this during the fermentation process, as too much sugar can overfeed and potentially kill your good bacteria.